Hello there and welcome to Tiger Talk, RWB International's podcast, where I get a chance to let you in on the secrets and madness and perhaps even ramblings of RWB International's talented sim racers. So, without further delay, bring in the first one, because I'm getting hungry. Hi everybody and welcome to this third podcast. And I'm absolutely delighted to bring to you one of our honchos, our head honcho, and that is RWB Rodders. Rodders, how are you?
Welcome. I'm fine, thank you.
Bloody
It's fine
marvellous.
to.
No, look, seriously, on a serious note, it's really good to chat to you. So I've already had a chat with Speed, already had a chat with Charger. With Speed, I said,
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on the clock. It'll be about 10 minutes. It turned out to be 27. With Charger, I said, we'll do about 20 minutes. It turned out to be 30. So I'm not going to put a time limit on this. But what I will say is that, we'll make it interesting for anyone who listens to it. And, I won't drag this out or anything. So I think you know the
That's a great
format by
idea.
now. I think you know the format by now. But yeah, so let's just have some real information, some real life info from you. So what's your first name, Rodders?
Jamie.
Jamie. Real age?
Yep. 43, I think.
43. And where do you come from?
Um, it's a wee town called Stewarton. It's from Scotland. It's kind of near Kilmarnock. Not too far from Glasgow. Nothing's too far around the central belt. But yeah, a wee town called Stewarton.
How far away is? Sorry, I think you're smoking your smoking stick, and so am I. So I do apologise. How far away
No.
from Glasgow is you say Stewarton?
About 30 miles.
Right.
Not too far. Quite jump in the motorway in 20 minutes. So
Yeah. What do you do for a living, Jamie?
a generic IT consultant, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Cool.
I've kind of I've done IT my whole life of various types, basically.
That must be it. Do you specialise in a certain area or just like general sort of consultancy or?
Not really. You tend to specialise kind of now and again for a you know for a job, just for the way it works. And just kind of get through this thing. I kind of started with a chemistry degree, which is an odd place to start. Then done a postgrad in IT, and then was very popular at the time, just to get money, ended up in a call centre, and then got an IT job there, and just went for there. Um,
Call centre. Ooh, high
oh,
turnover, lots of pressure, long hours.
lovely places.
Ooh.
I mean,
Um,
if this is a very long podcast, if you get me started, then
don't worry. Now look, onto a subject I know you love. Real
yeah.
transport. What's your real transport?
Real what car?
Yeah.
But just because I was going on about it, just
There
recently
you
got my
go.
new
Come on, come
new
on. Talk to us about it.
No, just it's just a Honda Civic, but I was well chuffed because I thought I was going to get just a bog standard boring family car, but turned out to get a wee family practical sporty car. So it's a cracking wee motor actually. The new these new sort of small aspiration turbo engines that all the manufacturers are bringing out, and they're cracking. Dead efficient, really fast, really torquey with the turbo, and it's great fun. It's the most fun wee car I've had in ages, so I'm well chuffed.
Oh, good for you, mate. Because I know you had your previous family car for some time, and and you got your money's worth out of it and got the mileage out of it, and you've worked hard,
Yeah.
and you got yourself a nice car. There's nothing wrong with that. Good for you.
Oh, totally. I mean, it caught me off guard because I don't really think of it. Well, I do think about buying cars, but you don't because it's family and the family car. And yeah, after 8 years, when it came to actually buying one, I couldn't believe how excited I got. I couldn't hide it. It was that feeling of Christmas time again. You used to get when you're a wee guy. So it's good. I guess obviously it'd be great to be buying an even fancier car, but I think it's just great fun getting a new car when you've not done it in a while.
Is it an R-Type?
No, it's the 1.5 turbo sport. It's called. So
What?
it's not.
How is that possible that someone earns as much money as you hasn't bought an R-Type?
There's multiple reasons for that. Some relationship based. Um, I'll not go on.
Brilliant.
But
Listen,
don't get
no, look, it's a lovely car. I had the pleasure of talking to you about it, and I've done a little bit of research on Parkers and stuff, and they're a nice little motor. I think it's a 1.5 turbo, and as
yeah,
you say, they'll be
agreed.
quite nippy, I think.
It's a lovely wee engine, just dead revvy, and I know I like the 2 litre diesel in the Tiguan. It's a cracking engine that, but it's nice to have a petrol again with some revs about it, and it's got a real, it's just really lively, so it's good fun.
Awesome. Rodders, what are your real life vices? We all have them. I smoke and I
Oh
drink.
God.
What are your real life vices?
Well, I
You
do
don't
a
have to
vape.
incriminate yourself. It doesn't have to be an
No, no,
escort in Edinburgh.
I'm not going to do them all. Could be here a while. Um, I vape, so nicotine. I don't actually believe it or not. As a Scotsman, kind of spent a lot of time in Glasgow. I don't drink that much these days.
I
But
don't believe
I
it.
like a couple. I like a couple of beers now and again, but I don't drink the house for just or because it's a Friday on a Saturday. And I'll be honest, one of the I think I was moving away from it anyway because there's always more than one reason. But the sim racing's definitely added to it because you can't drink and sim race, and I want to sim race every night. So Fridays are out because I look forward to a wee session then, and Saturdays are out because it's league time. And as uh, was shared earlier, I did go out for a few drinks early on this afternoon, a meal with some friends. It was just 3 pints, but as soon as I hit the train, I just passed out and I woke up one stop past my stop. And then I had to come in and just get straight into practice for the league race. So
Also, you mentioned about sim racing keeping you out of the pub, and a sort of well, it's 2019. I mean, 30 years ago we would have been in the pub. That was the only entertainment that was about at the time for,
yeah,
dare I say it, middle-aged folk like us. But nowadays, of course,
yep.
computers and IT, it's universal, and sim racing. Mention about that. How long have you been sim racing?
So sim racing only since I was 40, because I'd been through that stage of having a couple of really young kids when they're babies and very young, and I stopped my gaming completely for a good few years, and then I started just getting back into it a wee bit and get a bit more free time. And I think it was Grid Autosport I got. I just thought I'd see what was out there. I was just doing shooters and I thought, check out a racing game. And I remember at the time checking out Project Cars, but I just had a controller and I just couldn't do it. And I thought, this is awful. You must need a wheel for it. And I just kind of put it to the side. But so I was kind of driving a bit at the time, but so my friends knew that because I was really enjoying Grid Autosport, and they just bought me a wheel for a laugh, and I did kind of take it as it was a 40th birthday present. And as soon as I tried it, but I just absolutely loved it, and I was like, Jesus, and that was it from there. So
Wow.
yeah, three and a bit years I've been sim racing.
Now, look, it's no secret you're certainly one of the quickest in RWB International, which is some statement because there are some very, 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 very quick people in RWB International. Um, what do you put that down to? Do you put that down to your equipment? Do you put it down to your training? What's your secret?
Um, Racing games were always one of my favourite genres from when I was young. I've gamed since I was young, from a Commodore 64, bought for the family when I was 8. Um, so yeah, oh, excuse me. So that if you play race games all the even from very young, you do get a kind of aptitude for it, and I always noticed I did have an aptitude for that type of game, and then I had a huge gap from it for ages. But that plus, I mean, it's a mixture of everything really that gets you. I mean, when I came into RWB, I hadn't used a wheel, so you're kind of change your control method, and there's been so many wee things help you along the way. But at the end of the day, I love racing. I'd really like winning, and I like tech, so I was really intrigued to know how it all works. And to be honest, everyone in RWB from Evo to Rigel to Charger, and especially in the early sort of years or so, they were just full of good advice. So, which really helped to get stuff set up right. Because there's a hell of a lot to think about with sim to get right with the wheel and the force feedback, and you've no idea how all these sliders work, and you know the script yourself.
Yeah, yeah, most certainly, yeah. Yeah, but you're better at it than I am. There's no question about that. But yeah, awesome. So we were talking about, one of the segues to that question was about equipment. What equipment? Talk to us about equipment. What do you use?
I've got a 20 newton meter OSW from Simplicity as a wheelbase. A Fanatec Formula Black rim converted to USB as a rim. Fanatec V3 pedals with the brake performance kit. Um, the Thrustmaster shifter and a racing VR pretty much exclusively unless the game doesn't support it.
Well, that's some really hardcore equipment there. And there's one thing that I was expecting to hear, but I didn't hear. So you don't use a rig or anything like that?
No, I know I don't have a spare room for it, so my setup's in essentially what is the spare room, but it's also got a sofa bed, so it can't have a big rig sitting in it. But I've just got a kind of 1.5 inch thick, really solid piece of wood that I've kind of mounted. I mean, it's rock solid, and then the wheels just bolted onto that, and I've got a chair that I've put a lower cylinder in, so it's a bit lower. And I'd love a rig, but it's pretty good as it is. I don't I don't feel I'm missing out when I'm sitting racing. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. You know, you're, as I said earlier on, you're certainly, one of you know, the the quickest in RWB. So having a rig, hasn't stopped you from being quick. And I suppose that's
Oh no.
and we've said that a lot, haven't we? I mean, it's not always the equipment, is it? I mean, equipment will make you will give you some continuity, but it won't make you faster.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
equipment's one part of a much bigger equation. You've got to fill in to be, you know, a type of sim racer. There's loads to it. Equipment, I think. I mean, when I had the original wheels I had, the T300, I was still kind of generally up there. I think most folks say for consistency, it does really help with that. The precision of the direct drive wheel um, is what I think helps with the consistency, not so much the forces. And then the forces are just really exciting for high downforce cars because it just translates that increasing downforce and that feeling of weight. So there might, again, it matters how your wheels set up because even some people's force feedback I notice can be good for some cars and not others, depending on how the game lets you tweak it. I think the way I've got mine tuned tends towards the high downforce cars, but it's maybe not as optimal for the sort of tin top driving. And there's so many variables, and it's so subjective, and yeah, could go on and on.
Yeah. Well, that's a good answer. Now, one of the normal questions that I'll be asking RWB members when we filter down out of the sort of the honcho committee, so to speak, of RWB will be how long have you been a
Mm-hmm.
member and what do you like about it? But I'm going to
Sure.
flip that on its head a bit like I did with Chargers, and say to you, talk to me about RWB International. What does it mean to you? You're essentially the sort of general leader of RWB International. How did it come about, and what are you looking for the future for RWB?
Well, so I said I'd got the wheel for my 40th. Within about, I think I tried to get I got Project Cars as quick as I could because I wanted to have a game that the wheel didn't work well with Grid Autosport, and I knew it probably needed a proper simulation to work right. And I think jumped in Project Cars, loved, was really enjoying it. It was all new to this sort of thing, and but very quickly you see public lobbies are a complete uh, well, I'm trying not to swear because it's a podcast. They're non-optimal, shall we say? I just thought I need to find maybe a group, and within a week, I think of the wheel, I ran into an RWB lobby and just had excellent racing. I wish I could remember exactly who. I do recall a race at Monza, and it was the last corner on the last lap, just side by side with someone. It might have been Marco, might have been Crank, would be my best guess, and the two of us kind of going, that was brilliant. And then it just kind of went from there because it was just really Charger and chums at the time with Debug. So there was just about maybe 6 or 8 of them regulars, and then they would run a server and other folk would join it. And I just took it like a fish to water. I was really obsessed about it in the first year just because it was new and the wheel and the gear and the tech and I think by that was December, and I think by mid end of January kind of think Debug was thinking of moving on to do other stuff at the timing as well, charging that just then Debug offered me an admin position. And I just went from there, started doing the servers, and just yeah, I just getting what it's like, Tiger. You came, you just you want to get involved, so you kind of jump in for what you can do, and it just I just the
Well, there are some people that, well, in my view, there are some people that talk about it, and then there are some people that actually want to contribute as a way of thanks and to try and build what is so obviously something very proud to be part of. I
yeah,
sort of sussed onto that in the first few days, so I expect you probably thought the same sort of thing, did you?
and yeah, but I must admit I went a bit overboard. I was enjoying it so much, but then I quickly realised I was just doing way too much. Organising 3 races a week, doing the servers, and you suddenly go, right, wait a minute, I need to take my foot off the gas a wee bit because I've almost kind of burnt myself out a couple of times. Chargers talked me back, talked me out of leaving a few times, and I'm really glad I haven't. Because I think I've said to you before, it's when you see the energy other folk in the club put into it, it motivates you to do more and try a bit harder. So it's really good at the moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. There is the what they call the click limit phenomena, where you can reach your click limit in anything, no matter how much you love it. If you do too much of it, then it's all of a sudden now not something that you love and becomes more of a burden.
Well, you work all day, come back, see the kids and the family, and then if you leap into just hours of either sim racing or setting up, you're not really de-stressing, and then before you know it, it's 1 in the morning, and
Oh
you're
yeah,
going, I
or
wonder
20
why I'm
past 2 in
start.
the morning on a
Yeah,
Saturday like now, right?
yeah, and then you wonder why a few months down the line you're feeling a bit jaded and kind of with tired. Just kicking the arse out it, so it's just part of pacing yourself and growing up a bit. I've never been good at pacing myself. I work in mad bursts and do shit, and then mad bursts, and then just a personality flaw.
Well, I believe that you get to a certain age, and if that's a personality flaw, you sort of delete the word flaw and insert trait. That's just who you are, and
Oh,
unlikely that
I
you'll
know.
you'll
I'm
get
just
shot
I'm
with
just
it.
self-deprecating a bit. It's
That's
just
cool.
a trait.
Final sensible question. Oh, did I say that? Final question before we go into some quick fire, some quick shots. Um, I think you briefly mentioned it earlier on, and the question is, what's been your most memorable? Oh, there I go again. Third podcast, and I
But
can't say it. Memorable race, good or bad, and what was the outcome?
oh, I heard you asking other people this, and the thing I'll probably is I'm probably forgotten it because there's been so many. Um, But certainly one of the early races that really stuck with me, and it's often the early ones, was a Formula 3 league in P cars that Charger ran. Um, it was the finale, Evil and I think I think it was maybe a 45-minute race. The whole race, neck and neck. I actually can't remember who won it. I just remember fighting with them. Um, but it was just that was fantastic. I know what there was it Charger mentioned Zuhai, but so I'm not getting to that. But that everyone probably could mention that race. Down in history with the thunderstorm. Um, Even more recently, it's
Well,
just there's been so much.
you were on that race, Rodders.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a GT3 defaults. In fact, Charger was said LMPs. It was definitely GT3s because it was a default setup league.
He's old. His
Um,
memory's not what it used to be.
and it was crazy. It was the there was we didn't have quite as strict a race comms back then. We were quite smaller. We did generally, but not as maybe as disciplined as now. But nobody said a in word. There was silence from the moment it started to it finished. And you could hear the exhaustion in everyone's voice after it. So and
Awesome.
otherwise, sorry, one more because you can't do one. It's again PCARS was Le Mans. Just doing an endurance race in Le Mans. It might have been one of my first ones. Just going through the night with the weather and everything. Races like that in general are excellent, and you don't get them all that often. So I'm looking forward to more of them. Maybe in R Factor 2 that Audi's working on for endurance.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you very much. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move into some quick shot questions. They're called this or that questions, basically. I'm just going to give two specific options, and you just give me your immediate response. You need to be able
Okay,
to give me your immediate response as quickly as you can, rather than sit there and
okay.
think about it.
Is It's cool. I listen to Chabs are doing it, so I know what not to do. So I just answer. It's
Well,
cool.
these are
I've got it.
tailored. I have to tell you, they are tailored to the person that I'm talking to. And
Mhm.
I don't think those questions would be appropriate for you, Budders, to be honest with you. And we're all individuals, and we've all got certain strengths and certain weaknesses, perhaps, or depending on who's perceiving that to be. These, like I said, this is just a bit of fun. Anyway, so
Fire
let's fire off with it. So we're going to go into some sim racing quick shots. All good. So here we go then. You ready?
Yep.
Kunos or Reza?
Reza.
Audi or Merc?
Audi.
Time trial or free play?
Free play.
Race room or PCARS 2?
Race room.
Sector 3 or SMS?
Sector 3.
SimCube or Podium?
Ooh. SimCube or Podium and SimCube. SimCube.
See, if whichever one you don't have gets thrown in room 101, never to be seen again. So this is really important. Fanatec or Thrustmaster?
Fanatec.
F1 or GT3?
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to say F1. Sorry, 'cause I'm enjoying driving now. F1.
Sim racing or flight?
Sim racing.
Bastard.
Sorry, bud.
27 inch or 32?
What was that?
27 or 32?
Oh, 27.
VR or triples?
VR.
Leagues or one-offs?
Leagues.
Pikes Peak or Goodwood?
Goodwood.
Lewis Hamilton or Guy Martin?
Lewis Hamilton.
Rally or race?
Race.
Public lobby or closed?
Closed.
Nürburgring or Red Bull Ring?
Nürburgring.
Handling or speed?
Handling.
Hanging or rack?
Hanging or rack? Sorry, I'm not getting the question.
Hanging or rack?
I'll just say rack. I don't know.
Monza or Portimao?
Portimao.
Brake horsepower or torque?
Torque.
Rangers or Celtic?
Oh, it puked in my mouth a bit. Sorry. I can't pick either of them. But I'd have to pick Celtic if you make me, and I'm probably now going to get a kicking.
Rally. Oh dear. Nordschleife or Le Mans?
Le Mans.
Let's go into some more sensible questions, shall we?
Did I win a prize?
Oh, you've done really well, mate. Gym or pub?
Gym.
Dog or cat?
Cat.
Phone call or text?
Phone.
Mobile games or console games?
Console games.
High tech or low tech?
High tech.
Swimming or sunbathing?
Swimming.
Edinburgh or London?
Edinburgh.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
Car or bike?
Car.
Trainers or slippers?
Slippers.
Broadsword or hook?
Broadsword.
Mel Gibson or Tom Cruise?
Oh, God. Jesus. Well, I really don't like one of them. If I pick the other one, I'm associated with racist, so you're really giving me some decision.
An Australian.
I'm going to pick Mel Gibson because he's not a Scientologist. There we go. That makes up for his racism. Not being a Scientologist.
Yeah. Glasses or contacts?
We need a lawyer. Contacts.
Blue or red?
Blue.
At a movie, would you have sweets or popcorn?
Sweets.
Tablet or computer?
Computer.
Email or letter?
Email.
Toast or cereal?
Cereal.
Buckfast or fried Mars bar?
Oh, man. Both.
No, you can't do that. You can only have one.
Deep fried Buckfast. Buckfast.
Deep fried Buckfast.
the Mars bar inside.
Nightclub or social club?
Social.
New clothes or a new phone?
Buying clothes, I'd probably say phone.
Football or rugby?
I'll say rugby.
Lion or
Maybe a bit.
unicorn?
Oh, unicorn, I have to. All
Right
day, man.
hook or a Yoza kiss?
Yours a kiss. Is that a headbutt? I heard that phrase.
It is. It's an old school Scottish term for a headbutt. Did you not know that?
I've not heard that before.
Fucking hell's
But
fire. You need to
it
square
sounded
that
like a
away.
headbutt. It sounded like a headbutt, so I'll pick that.
Nice car or nice home?
Nice home.
Glasses, trainers or slippers?
Slippers.
Toilet paper? Over or under?
Over.
Train or plane?
Got to be over. Train.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Freedom or colonial rule?
Freedom! Freedom! Ah, I'm triggered. Freedom.
Nicola Sturgeon or Boris Johnson?
Oh, you dirty bastard. I can't. I'm going to say Nicola Sturgeon because I would get death threats if I said anything else.
Protestant or Fenian?
Oh my god. Fenian.
Civic or RS5?
It's got to be the Civic RS5. Have you seen the? I've heard. I checked it out. Just I couldn't buy an RS5.
Rodders, I'm going to bring it to a close there. It's been really nice to talk to you, and actually, you answered really well, mate, and you haven't made a silly fool of yourself or anything like that. Not at all. Genuinely, especially the first part of these podcasts, I think are really, really interesting to find out who the person is, what kit they use, how long they've been sim racing for, and all the rest of it.
Aye, this is good. Because I mean, lots of us have chatted lots, but there's a lot of newcomers that won't, and it fills in a nice bit of history. So I think I gave a reasonably accurate account given my tiredness state. But yeah, that was good. Cheers. Thanks very much.
No, not at all. And finally, before we do the outro, finally, the stage is yours. What advice would you give to anybody in RWB about getting quicker, or anybody out there who's listening to this stream or watching the stream who wants to join RWB? What would you say?
Again, I'm trying to think what's been not because I've heard the other ones, what's kind of mirroring what others have said. The sort of the main stuff that we don't focus on pure pace as a lot of places do. In fact, it's good that we've got a spread because you get fights all along, all through the field. It's just about being clean and it's kind of I wouldn't say the culture or the ethos of the club, but that's kind of more important than anything else. When you come in, because we all do speak a lot and we have comms open, etc. So even if you're shy, that's fine. A few of the lads are shy. In fact, FX was super shy at first. He kind of floated around and raced a bit with us, and then kind of like stepped in closer and closer. So he's still quite shy. But if you like it and you're looking for a good bunch of guys, come along. Or girls. We've had a couple of them along the way. But
Andrea, isn't it? Andrea?
oh, Andrea, yeah, she's a mystery woman. She's yeah, not seen her in a while.
No, actually, I was talking to her the other night. Anyway, look, thank you very much, and that's great advice. And yeah, I know it's mirroring what the others are saying, but that's probably testament to what RWB is all about, and to a great deal of to a great to great acknowledgement. That's in part,
I think
part of
I think
part of your gift to it.
if you come along, you've got a feel for what we're all about quite quickly. And I will say, I guess, if it's been said, but because I think it's one of the kind of big differentiators with why people maybe race in one club or another is the times we race at. So because the sort of makeup of the club generally, it's sort of 9:30 at night. We tend to race. So again, if that time kind of suits you later in the evening, the family's down or whatever your domestic situation is, then that's that's when we race. It's always kind of around about 9:30 for all our events.
Brilliant, wonderful. Thanks very much, Rod. It's been great talking to you. I'll now do the outro.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining us on this podcast, and thank you to my guest who's answered the probing questions. Remember, if you want to find out anything more about RWB International, pop along to our website, rwbracing.club. You'll find our link to our Discord channel there, and come on in and we're ready to receive you with open arms. So, closing down the podcast, it only leaves me to say those final words. Don't race alone. Race RWB. Take care now.